Ready to go, Aarti.
Oh. 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 Sahana bhavatu, sahanau bhunakto, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadhyasya yatonvayaditaratascha artheshvabhigyam swarat tene brahma hridaya adikavaye muhyanti yat surayah tejo varivridam yatha vinimayo yatra trisargo mrisha धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकम् सत्यं परं धीमहि सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये ततो जयमुदीरये. Hari Om. So we are looking at the Prahalada Stuti. I'll share. We can do the chanting.
Hari Om, I'm here, Aarti.
Yes.
Sorry for the delay. If we can skip the chanting, we can start the.
Yeah, we will start.
Okay, I'll just share the slides. Oh, please enable sharing, Prabha.
Yes, done.
Yes, this is where we were at. You're able to see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. System is very slow today, so I'll just keep it like this. Yes, Aarti, you were saying something.
No, basically we will go. What was the last shloka? Let us just get a glimpse of what the previous one.
This is the one, I think.
Tvamva idam sadasadisha bhavansthanyo
Sadisha bhavansthanyo maya yadat parabuddhiriyam hyapartha yadyasya janma nidhanam stitirikshanam cha tatvai tadeva vasukala vadashti tarvo. You are Sat Asat as the Lord, transcending your Srishti called Maya and pervading in it too. We saw this, I think, no? Pervasive. Seeing the other. So here that is given as Atma Para Buddhi. The Buddhi that starts perceiving something which is There is something which is other than Atman. That is delusion. As everything, because everything, be it Sat or Asat, anything, it comes only from you. It stays in you and goes back to you. This is our Janmadhyasya Yataha, the very first shloka in our Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Looking at this Srishti, separate from you. Prahlad is looking at Narsimha and saying that looking at this Srishti, separate from you, is like saying the tree is separate from its seed and the seed is separate from earth. Yeah, the vasana of the earth is what is given here. So, yeah, it's everything is actually the same. They say, right, the seed has the sukshma, everything. If we break the seed, we can't see anything. But the entire, the modern science will call it genetic code, right? Everything is there in the seed. At the physical manifestation, we call it as a genetic code. So, like that, this entire thing is only you and you pervading, you are pervading and you transcend all this also. That's what Prahlad has told in this. Anything, Aarti?
We can move to the next one.
This one is Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam Vidhi Partha Sanatanam. Know that this Bijam is also Sanatanam, eternal, beyond time, space, causation, right? Buddhir Buddhimatam Asmi. So if that Buddhi is able to, is that subtle and ekagrata like Prahlada, then the perception is completely only in that reality, seeing that all pervasiveness, the transcendence. But if the buddhi is focused on any other, thinking that it has a separate existence from Atman, Bhagavan says that buddhi is also me only. So this is an indication given to us so that again the buddhi turns back to the source. Okay, buddhimatam asmi tejas tejosvinamaham. So I am the buddhi intelligence, okay, that enlivens the intellect, whatever, and I am that Teja in the Teja also. The brilliance in the brilliance, what we call as brilliance. So the basic essence is him. That is the idea of this entire shloka. The basic essence of this entire creation is him. He pervades.
So if you look at this is given beautifully in the Mandukya Upanishad. The Mandukya Upanishad talks about the Omkara with the three states. Okay, as the three states, one is the waking state, the dream state, and the deep sleep state. In the waking state, and in the waking state, one's organs of perceptions like the hearing, the sense, and all of that are working, and also the mind is working in that state. And in the dream state, the actual eyes and all are not working, but even in your dream, you are hearing things, you are seeing things. There is a sense of perception. But it is in the waking state, you are more engaged with the gross body. The gross body is more engaged. There is an actual doing. And in the dream state, the subtle body is more engaged. The mind is more engaged. And in deep sleep, none of this is there. Everything, the world seems to have gone inside. It is in Sushupti. And it is there in that seed form inside, even in that deep sleep. It has not gone anywhere. It is there in the seed form in sleep. And when you wake up, immediately the whole world appears in front. all my thoughts, if I have gone to sleep thinking tomorrow morning I have to wake up at this thing, that thought will come. I have to do this, that thought will come. All the thoughts, they didn't go though. And when we are in deep sleep, we have absolutely no sense of the body or the mind. We don't even realize that we are actually sleeping in deep sleep. We have no sense of I also at that point in time. But when we wake up, we feel absolutely blissful because we touch that Anandamaya Kosha at that point in time. So, but this whole world for us, all our thoughts or the seeds of all the thoughts have all gone. Where have they gone? They've not gone. They're not separate from us. They are within. They have all gone back into us, and they again emerge from us. But through the waking state, the dream state, and the deep sleep state, who is constant? That I am constant. Who is the waker? I was the waker. Who was dreaming? I was dreaming. Who is in deep sleep? I am in deep sleep. I may not know that it was I don't have even a sense of I in deep sleep, but the moment I wake up, I say, good sleep today, or last night I didn't get that deep sleep at all. That good sleep, that sense of I knows that there was a deep sleep at that point in time. So that I is that constant, that I, it was there even when the body was not in function, the mind was not in function, and even when that sense of ahankara, that I was not there, I was there. That I, that higher self, was existent through all these phases, and that self, so that self is like the tree. Now, to say that the body is separate from this self, to say that this mind is separate from this self, to say that any of this is like saying the tree is separate from its seed. All of these states are non-existent without that self. The waker is non-existent without I, without this I. The dreamer is non-existent without this I. So what is that eternal constant? So this in sleep we are seeing, but this same sleep concept comes in life also. After death also we go back into that. There is a srishti and then there is a laya. That is the larger going back into sleep again. The deep sleep, when we leave the body, we don't have a sense of the body. We don't have, but we may be in the subtle body at that point in time. And then when we transcend the subtle body and get into the deep sleep layer, so that is another kind of cycle that goes on. So through all of this though, there is one constant, and that is the higher self, which is always there, ever existent. Looking at the Srishti is this world that is projected because of my dream. So now let us not think only of the sleeping time dream and waking state. Even during the day, there are times when we are acting in the world. There are times when we are sitting and daydreaming. There are thoughts going on in our mind. So the thoughts that are going on in our mind and the emotions, that is the dream, because it's happening in the mind. And the actions that we do in the world and engagement with the world, that is the waking state. And when one goes into samadhi consciously, that becomes the deep sleep state, and one experiences ananda at that stage. And all of these are related to that higher self. In the deep sleep state, that sense of I is also gone. That is, in the samadhi state, there is absolute, that higher state, when we are saying the deep sleep, which goes beyond the body and the mind, and even the sense of I recedes, ahankara. So none of this is separate from the tree itself, or none of this can happen without the I. That is what is Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. It says the Purnam is the only constant. The world is also Purnam. And when that world is removed from the Purnam, that is the self. That is Purnam, that is the self is Purnam. The world is also Purnam. But when the world stops, that Purnam is removed from the self still exists completely. It is in its Purnatvam. It never loses its Purnatvam. The world is dependent on the self, but the self is not dependent on anything.
That is what here he calls as transcend, right? Pervasive. World is Purnam because it is Purnam only. But transcending is the world is dependent. For that apparent existence of the world, the base existence is necessary. For the movie, screen is needed. But screen does not need the movie to be played always. See, all these are actually beautiful pointers to that changeless principle which is here now. Okay. So, a beautiful, it's a very popular shloka, right, in Bhagavad Gita. So, Bhagavan, he very beautifully compares the body aging, right, from the child, where baby, and then, see, there are many ways. So, here it is just like the seed and the tree, okay. Birth, death. So Bhagavan says the birth, death does not mean just the falling of the body. Every minute it is happening. Yes, this body is growing from as a baby, and then a teenager, and then maybe, an adult, and then an old person, right? So a beautiful example that Swami very nicely he puts is a grandchild is sitting in grandfather's lap, and grandfather is showing him the album, okay, all his childhood photos, okay, and there a small baby is there. Then this grandchild asks, who is this, Tata? Who is this? It is said as Papa, right, in Tamil. Who is this baby, Tata? Tata says, that is me. Grandfather, he looks at his grandfather and says, no, you are Tata, but this is Papa, this is baby. For that grandchild, there is no connection between the form that he is seeing. He is not seeing his grandfather like that. Okay, then the grandfather shows him a small a boy picture, and this grandchild looks and now asks, who is this? He says, that is also me only. Okay, that grandfather is constantly with that changeless principle. He is saying that is me, but this child does not understand. Child, no, that is a boy. You are Tata, but this is a boy. So for him, he is in that form. Okay, this grandfather again shows a young adult. Boy is not able to recognize because he knows his Tata only like that. Okay, says, no, this is a mama. Then Tata says, no, this is me. And the last one is, now he says, this is Tata, because it's the same. So, this is what Krishna shows, Bhagavan shows in Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Whether I know or not, okay, even 7 years before every cell, they say, right, even a single cell is not the same. Okay, it takes 7 years. Modern science also says that. So, physically, there is so many transition, even though it is happening, even though all of us unconsciously or consciously are in touch only with that real existence within. That is why there is that constant thing which tells me that is also me, this is also me. Okay. But somewhere we get caught with the form. That is Maya. Right here, that is so beautiful. It is even though that is a one, I don't know what it is. It's so surprising, right? That inner constant principle is what we are in touch with even now. Even now, if we really think and ask, is this body talking to another body? We all very easily can say, no, it's not only that. That is something, isn't it? So we are in touch with that changeless principle only even now. Existence, but that forgetting that is what Vedanta calls as that avarana, right? Avarana, and then so much of vikshepa, everything. That is delusion, that is Atma Parabuddhi. So all these are pointers. The first step is to completely pay attention to the truth. Okay. Then the truth will reveal itself as Sat as everything else. That is the job of the truth. Our attention from this form, name form, to the one self, to Bhagavan. Yeah, you call it Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti, Shakti.
To put it in a very relevant, practical way for us to apply, also, we can say, here it says, you are here as Sat and Asat, Sat Asat. So what is the Sat? The Sat is the higher self. Asat is everything else, the dream world and the waking world. Completely is all Asat. Now, so to know the reality of the self, all I need to know when we say Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya, Asat is this mind-body component, Sat is the Supreme Self. So, Asatoma, if I have to move out of Asat, if there is a suffering, the way to do that is to turn to the Sat. And know that what do? We will be in that Asat itself. Oh, this suffering is happening. Why is this suffering happening? Analysis, diagnosis. From where did this happening? Since how long I have been having this suffering? All of that. So what are we doing? Where are we focusing? We are focusing on the Asat only. But that is when we are focusing on the Asat, it is like trying to remove darkness by somehow being in the darkness itself. Okay, how can I remove the darkness by being in the darkness? I cannot. All I need to do is turn on the light and the darkness will be gone. This is as simple as that. In application, turn on the light and the darkness will be gone. There is a suffering in this Asat, in the mind-body component. How to come out of it? Turn on the light, which means just turn and look at the self. In whom is this feeling arising? In whom is this thought arising? In whom is this pain arising? In whom is this excitement arising? Turn around. It is as quick and simple as that light removing the darkness. If we can experience this for ourselves, the moment we remember and we turn around and look at the self, who is this arising in? And say that is Sat Chit Ananda. It is like vanishes. That whole, whatever was that Asat vanishes and only Sat remains at that point in time. I'll just give you one example here, okay? Of late, something it's a very small thing, but I had one in between. I became a little anemic, I think. So then at that time, I had this very strong craving either for some kind of craving for sand or vibhuti or rice. It happened, and rice was the easiest thing for me available. And I started eating raw rice, just like that. And I knew this was going to have lots of problems. This raw rice, you keep eating it. It's like one deep craving after every, something you need to chew on. And I realized how once you give in to craving, it just catches you. It just catches you so strongly. And I could feel all the grinding and my teeth happening. And I knew that this was going to cause some problems in my teeth. I kept trying to overcome it by saying, okay, all this grinding, this teeth is going to get spoiled. So let me stop. I could push it off for 2 hours, didn't stop. Then I will replace this with, something more. Whenever I have that craving, let me have some drakshi or something, which is a little more this thing. So then I started eating some drakshi and all. No, some 2-3 times that worked. Then I went back to rice again. raw rice. And then I said, okay, let me get a mukhwas or something that is at least lighter. Again, but that didn't stop me from having the rice. So then I remembered, okay, I was trying to handle the darkness in the darkness. I was trying to handle the craving. I was trying to handle the craving rather than,
Remembering.
just turning towards the light. Okay, that craving is like the darkness. So then once the craving started, I just
Hmm.
turned around, didn't look at and said, in whom is this craving coming?
Hmm.
And just stilled. And I can confidently say the craving after 2 days did come again, but again I did the same thing. But the urge is not there as strongly. The intensity, the urge is definitely, reduced over a week right now. So yeah, I mean, it's like a very simple, but you can also, it is very, very, very relevant in our application.
Very true. Very true. Your own will. Oh, again, looking at Nasima, he's saying, yes, ye damat mani jagat vilayambu madhye sheshet mana nija sukhanubhavo nirihaha yoge namilita drigat manipi tat nidraha turye stitho na tutamo na gunamscha yunkshe. By your own will, you withdraw your entire manifestation. You repose in the cosmic water of deluge, being in the bliss of your own nature and devoid of any activity. By your yoga, you close your eyes, ever shining as Turiya, not engaging in gunas or tamas, nidra. Yes, guna is vikshepa. I think it's kind of similar that Ananta, the one who is in that yoga nidra. So it is very beautiful. See, maintenance, the one who's got the portfolio of maintenance, Vishnu, is in yoga nidra always. That itself is a huge lesson for us, right? Srishti, Laya, at that time we don't know. Okay, we are in this sthiti only, right? In sthiti, the waking state. Srishti Laya can be used as, to get the glimpse of jnana or pointers, whatever. But during the sthiti, yes, being at the feet of Vishnu is what is this? Close your eyes, ever shining as Turiya. So that, the one in the cosmic water means who is untouched by all this is there. So just being at his feet and, that is the whole thing. Prahalada was like that. He was there. That is called Sahaj Samadhi, they say, right? Sahaj. It is just spontaneous. It is there always. Being centered always. And whatever is happening is happening. So that's a very beautiful thing. Yogena Sukhanubhavo. So in that peace, centered completely. Mahatripti, they say, no, there is no more anything arising, to achieve or to do or to, it does not arise separate from you. Everything is just there, like that. It is very beautiful. Move on.
Similar, yeah.
Tasyaiv te vapuridam nijakala shaktya sanchodita prakriti dharmana atmagudham ambasyananta shayanad viramat samadhe nabhera bhut swakanika vatavan mahabjam. Oh, Ananta has come here, right? Says that Ananta Shayana, just that form itself is so beautifully done, right? It is that expansive, and he's deep in there, right? And with absolutely no what is it? Chalana. There is no so Ananta Shaina, here you are the Kala Shakti, the Prakriti Dharma, and you are hidden in these as Atman. So it goes from the outer to the inner, right? You wake up from Yoga Nidra and sprout as a huge lotus flower, your own Srishti only. That is just like a banyan tree sprouts from its seeds. So a very similar example is given here. Yeah.
Just like when we are in sleep and the whole world, just that is a symbolism.
Yeah.
The individual and the say na yat brahmanda tata pindanda. Yata brahmanda tata pindanda. So as the cosmos, so is that the individual and the cosmos are the same. So if you understand the microcosm, you can understand the macrocosm. So for our experience, when I wake up, the first I get that sense of I-ness, oh, I. And then from that I, then this whole, my thoughts come up, and then my world, and then I start functioning in the world. I have to get up, I have to go into the kitchen, I have to do this. My memory starts flooding into my head and all that. So that is like that Srishti, that lotus flowering, and the creation happening. The world is creation, the created, the I, the thoughts, the memories coming up, and the whole world is again coming in front of me. And the deluge is when that whole world is going into me as I go to sleep. Right? So, so here you, but that larger consciousness is nothing but the Supreme. Everything, there are so many lotuses blooming. They say there are so many lotuses, it's as many number of pores that he has. It's a kind of metaphorical term, because there are so many individuals from which so many different worlds, each of our worlds is different. My thoughts, your thoughts and everything, but the source is the same for everything. My world is different, my people, what happens in my world is different, your world is different, in the sense of the perceived world. As I view it, the people, my thoughts, my feelings, everything, there is an individualism to it also. But the source of all of this is just one. That's Supreme. And that is, you are that banyan tree sprouts, a huge lotus. You wake up from Yoga Nidra and you are hidden in these as Atma. So Yata Brahmanda, Tata Brahmanda, that cosmos, the consciousness of the Supreme exists within the individual as the Atma. The Brahman exists within the individual as the Atma.
Again, Bhagavad Gita is coming today. See, the very first in Vibhuti Yoga, the first Vibhuti that Bhagavan says is Aham Atma Gudakesha. So that is a Vibhuti, right? Within us, he says that's very, that Atman within is me. Know that, says Krishna, right? Or Ramana Bhagavan puts it well, how he says is Aham. That feeling of that I, that existence, which is there for all of us, irrespective of however the body and mind is from the small little creature, okay, till Brahma, is what Shankaracharya uses, Pipilikava, whatever. From that ant, small little thing, till Brahma, the entire, every creature has that sense of existence. That is what is called as I or self. That sense of existence. It's not the ego. It's not the Ahankara. So that sense of existence which is there, from that everything sprouts. So that sense of existence is me, says Krishna. This is what Ramana Bhagavan, this is his first thing. He says, the Aham Atma Gudakesha. Okay, so that sense of existence, if we get our mind turns to it, that is true introversion of the mind. And Brahma, we know, right? Initially in Bhagavatam we saw. So Brahma first comes out as that symbolic, beautiful story of how that Sarga first, right? So Through the lotus, he comes, he sees in all directions. So first, the nature of the mind and this individual self is to see outside only. Yes, the moment the mind has introverted, they say there is no mind. Like, the mind ceases to exist. So the Brahma is first looking, and that is why Brahma, he says kaha, kaha, kaha is the first thing, right? What? He doesn't. And then so much tapasya he does. He first goes in through that lotus stem within to find, right? So that is that going within. We need to that aham atma gudakesha, that, if we really contemplate just on that, there is a sense of existence for me now too, for all of us. But it is just covered with, like the Brahma in that form, is looking outward. It is covered with this body mind, right? Now, like Brahma going through that lotus stem to find the source, we have to find time for ourselves, sit with ourselves, and that ask that beautiful question: from whom is everything arising? Who is within that is giving that feeling of existence? That is the first turning inwards. So that is nothing but Bhagavan declares. Shruti. All our scriptures, they declare that that sense of existence that is here now is nothing but Bhagavan. Hold on to that, then he will take. So, very beautiful it is. We move on or anything? Tat sambhava. Oh, Brahma is come. Tat sambhava kaviratonyada pashya manaha tvam bijamatmani tatam sabahir vichintya navindadapta shatamapsu nimajjamano jaten kure katamuho palabhate bijam. No, what is it? Something. Katamuho palabda bijam, maybe. So, yes, I think here Prahlada has nicely talked about that. Brahma, who rose from your navel, unable to see anything else, searches going within the stem to find his source for 100 years. He could not trace you, for when the seed fructifies as a creeper, the original seed cannot be seen. See, this is this is one avarana. We go within, we keep searching, just like how we are searching some object outside. That is where we fail. Okay, I want to see. I want this buddhi to see, right? So that is, knowing the self or being in the self is not like that. That is what he is coming to now. Yeah, he will, I think, take us to the next step. So going within is first, yes, but we cannot. It is like beautifully said here. The seed has come out as a creeper, and the same creeper wants to see its own seed. Yeah, it's not like that. Yeah. So
in the Skanda Purana, there is a story of how. One second. Yeah, in the Skanda Purana, Lord Shiva wants Muruga, Skanda, to get his his education, his knowledge from Lord Brahma. And then Skanda says, I want to test Brahma and know whether he knows the truth. But then he asks Brahma, can you tell me about Omkara? And Brahma says, no, I don't know about Omkara. It is not something, it is much beyond me. It is like when I am born, when one is born, one does not know how the father was born. The father's parents may know how the father was born. The grandparents will know, but I, who was born after my parents, will not know how my father or his playtime or, I'll not know it real time. I may hear about it, but knowing is very different from hearing about it. So similarly, he says, Brahma comes at a later stage. Creation comes much later, and the Supreme is there beyond, before him. And hence he says, I know. I don't know about Omkara. At that time, Skanda says, I will not take him as the Guru. And then it is told that, and then Lord Shiva asks, do you know about Omkara? And Skanda tells that, and Lord Shiva says, he says, yes, I will tell, but you should become my Sishya. That is, Lord Shiva should become his Sishya. And Lord Shiva carries, it's him on his shoulder, and he tells it to him alone, the significance of Omkara. So this is to bring out that, he knows the significance of Omkara, he is much beyond. That is the Skanda Purana's this thing. But Brahma, this is what, he comes much later, and like he is a part of the creation. Brahma. He is a part of the creation, and hence he does not know the source. Like Bala says, it is not something to be perceived through the world or through the senses. It is to be experienced by going inwards at the heart. Hridaya Madhya. That's what.
See, we always take this movie example, right? So Brahma, if you see, that's a nice movie, right? Everything. So movie, yes, screen is there, movie is there. It is very easy as an audience to say, yes, movie is playing on the screen. But in this Srishti, what is it? We all are in the movie. Okay, we are on the screen and we are trying to get in touch with the screen like an audience who will watch the movie. That is where we are caught. Okay, that is what is told here as creeper cannot see, the seed. Its own seed means that's what it is. One issue which I remember I used to get caught with, so it just comes to the mind. We are so used to seeing everything in a linear fashion. Okay, the moment we say cause, effect, which means that's cause before, effect after, right? So we can, the screen and movie, it's not like that. It's not about the causation. We should also understand that the screen is incessantly pervading the movie. That has to be in our mind. But it is all pervasive. The Bhagavan is all just because we say the creeper cannot go to the seed, it's not that this here the seed will not be there anymore. So the creeper cannot see. Okay, but that is not the case with our self search. It is not that self is not there anymore. Okay, he's not there in this perception. Not there meaning cannot be caught. It is all pervasive, and the Atma Vidya is a little different, which they will take us through. It is not like perceiving an object. Svatvatmayonirativasmita ashritobjam kalena tivratapasa parishuddha bhavaha त्वामात्मनीश भुवि गन्धमिवाति सूक्ष्मं भूतेन्द्रियाशयमये विततं ददर्श. By not finding you, so by not being able to perceive Bhagavan like anything else, like things outside, Lord Brahma sat on the lotus with mind purified by intense meditation on you. Just like order subtly pervades the earth element, he found you in the subtlest form as his own existence pervading the senses and the mind. This answers, right? How beautiful. So that's all it is. It is that existence pervading the mind means, when we close our eyes in a dark room, yes, this is a beautiful prakriya which works. You close our eyes in a dark room. For me to see somebody who was sitting next to me, I have to see. Or if I hear some sound, I may perceive that, okay, they are there. Okay. But even when all the senses are shut in the waking state also, we know we are existing. That existence, not the ahankara, the existence. So that is Bhagavan himself. When we are in touch with that existence, we are touching Bhagavan. That has to be our, So when that comes truly, that is what Shruti is telling. You are touching that treasure which is within, So when we pause and ask, to whom is this coming? There is something which I still do not know what it is, but there is something there. That is nothing but Bhagavan, is what Shruti says. Yes, we need to put that and make that buddhi more and more ready to that subtle thing, That is how it starts. So just like the order pervades the earth element, he found you in the set. So chitta shuddhi is what is talked here. See, parishuddha bhava, tapasa. So tapa, we have seen that story, right? Where he hears tapa. After coming back, not finding Narayana, Brahma is sitting on the lotus and he hears the tapa and he starts tapa for 1,000 years. So it is not we've carried, our mind is habituated to just look outside and perceive things always, and only then, take that is existing. So, but our Shruti, they say, whatever is perceived do not exist. Existence cannot be perceived. Nasato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sada. Again, Bhagavad Gita. So, this we must take it in our mind. These all are what our acharyas are giving us. Take it, contemplate it, and then slowly, the chitta shuddhi when it happens, right? Whenever it is ready, that subtlest form as our own existence shines forth. And we know that only because we exist, all these things are there. Right.
Bala, can you just go back to the earlier one? Just 1 second, one thought was coming.
Yes.
So that seed does not, once the tree comes, once the lotus stem, the creeper has come out, the seed does not exist anymore, so he's not able to see. If you look at that, if we are trying to look at this existence outside, perceive it through our, sense organs, why can't we see it? It is like, what here, this is very synonymous. It says unable to see anything. So here he could not trace you, for when the seed fructifies as a creeper, the original seed cannot be seen. It is like this. The existence, everything around me is existence. This laptop it has taken this form. You have taken Bala is this form of existence. Prabha is a form of existence. Everything around, it is that, it is like, when you put something in water, water gets displaced. If I put an iron ball in water, water gets displaced and it rises above or something. But that is not existence. It is like that gold which becomes a jewel. It is like that gold which becomes the bangle. It is like, I'll give you a simpler example. There is H2O. Now that H2O in the form of water vapor, we can't see. But when that becomes solidified, it can come in the form of ice. It can come in the form of, and a little condensation can make water vapor. It can come in the form of dewdrops. It can come in the form of glaciers. It can come in the form of clouds. But all of this, what is the substratum? It is H2O. That H2O itself, because of the process of condensation, has turned into ice or water vapor. So now in that ice is not different from H2O. It is that H2O, that water vapor, that thing that you can't see. that has become solidified. So there is no separate thing called ice without the H2O. The ice cannot exist without the H2O. The cloud cannot exist without the H2O. Because of its guna, it is becoming a cloud or ice. For whatever reason. Similarly, based on the guna, we have all taken different forms as animals, as plants, as this or that, whatever, everything in this existence. We cannot see it with our eyes. All we see is the form, and we have given a name to the form. And hence, the only way is, we cannot try to perceive it through our senses. The only way is to do meditation and do chitta shuddhi, reduce the thoughts, clear the thoughts, remove negativity, and keep the mind silent. Keep the bed of the lake as clear as possible, and slowly we will be able to perceive that existence within. That existence was there in the noise also. It is just that noise covers the existence, the noise of the sound, and it exists even in the silence. It is beyond all of this. Yeah.
Perceives the noise. Right? The moment I think I am perceiving,
You're saying something, Bala. We can't hear you.
Oh, no, now?
It became very... Are others able to hear?
Not able to hear, Bala.
Is it? I don't know. Maybe I'll have to. You can't hear?
Very feeble. Check your sound.
I'll have to maybe end it and come back. Continue.
Why can't we hear you? You were saying something. Okay, we'll move on. So Brahma experiences bliss on beholding the Mahapurusha, an expression of his own Maya, with innumerable faces, feet, hands, legs, thighs, noses, mouths, ears, eyes, ornaments, weapons, and limbs as various spheres of this visible universe. So, as an expression of his own Maya, again, he experiences bliss as he holds that existence within. He gets in touch with that Ananda, Sat Chit Ananda of that Mahapurusha, the cosmic being. And now, that being he envisions as the supreme, like the supreme organism. With this 1,000 faces, with innumerable faces, feet, hands, legs, thighs, nose, because that is what we know. We know the human form. I have heard this being said. We know only the human form. So we think human form is the highest. So for us, the God is also in the human form. It is our own Maya for us to envision God in a certain form. Okay. And so if it was an animal, it will envision it in this form, because that is its Maya, right? So that is why it's given that any form that comes up is another expression of your own Maya. That was something I heard. Even all our idols and all that we have, they have been given forms, and then they've not just been given forms. These have all been, how would you say, envisioned by great seers, and they have been given to us in some way. So these idols, and they have great significance, symbolism of gods, they say, the way they have been, why is the Abhaya Mudra there? What does that signify? What does one leg folded signify? All of these, this is a form which is given to bring out certain aspects of the Supreme. And the idol, when we look at the Murti is a portal to the Supreme Being for us. It is a portal to the Supreme Being, because we need something to concentrate on. If I'm unable to go within, or whether I go within or outside my eyes, I see that Murti. That Murti is a portal, and what I see there is the divinity within, the God. Just like this, I am not the body, I am not the mind. Similarly, that form itself is not the divinity. The divinity is the essence in that form that it brings up within us. You want to say something, Bala?
Yeah, now you can hear.
It's a little better.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah. Now you talk. It's better.
Again, I'm not able to share. Please enable every time I go out.
Prabha, can you share?
Prabha, can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Yeah, no, I'm not able to share the screen, Prabha.
Yeah, your co-host.
No? Ah. Okay. Yeah. This is done now. Like that Vishwarupa, no? Vishwarupa Darshan. That 5 things they say, right? Yeah. Some Asti, Bhati, Priyam, Satchitananda. It's all told in different things. It's a, so first that existence, in touch with the existence, being in touch with the existence, then we see that cosmic power, Bhati, happening incessantly. Okay, being in touch with the existence, the cosmic power is happening incessantly, Bhati. So in that process, the result is Priyam. The true love. So that is what Brahma is experiencing. First, he sees that subtle thing. See, that the Chitta Shuddhi, whatever, the fruition of the tapasya, of course, divine grace, is that that existence, he sees that is Aham Brahmasmi, right? That existence is Brahman. So that is there for Brahma. And then Bhati, the happening, he starts seeing everything as his happening. And then as a result of that, Priyam. This is that bliss that they talk about. Yeah? Where it is that Mahapurusha, one being, just beautifully, doing everything. And why we have to worry, right? Visible spheres of this universe. Okay. So, I have to leave now. This I'll read and then you continue the class.
It's almost time. We will just do this a bit.
Tasmai Bhavan Hayashiras Tanu Vam Hi Vibhrad Vedat. I'm not able to read now. Vedat Guhavati Balau Madhukaita Bhakyau Hatvanayut Shruti Ganamscha Rajastamascha Satvam Tava Priyatamam Tanumamananti. Madhu and Kaithaba, representing Rajas and Tamas, got destroyed by you in your incarnation as Hayagriva, representing Sattva, and you delivered the Vedic principles to Lord Brahma. Sattvam is your beloved and is your body. I think this probably gets to the next the Brahma thing is over. It's going to the next Sattvam. Maybe we can continue this next class, or you want to say something?
No, we will continue next class. Let it be in continuation.
Yeah.
So basically he is saying you were the one who existed originally, and then the creation happened, and then the gunas are happening, and the sattva and all of this are coming. So he's going in a sequence. He's, Prahalada. Om असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ